Shivang Desai. I am one of the founders of Bigthinx, which is an artificial intelligence company in the fashion and retail industry, doing a variety of things from body scanning to digital twins. And on a personal front, I like to keep engaged with a lot more than just my work. So out of interest, I write, I skydive, I scuba dive, and I do love to travel.
So you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie by the sounds of it then.
A little bit.
What so aside from these things that you've pointed out that you like to do in your free time, if you had a free day, a free day in your diary, pre-COVID times, kind of notwithstanding all the restrictions that we have, and you were able to just do any, like whatever you wanted, how would you fill that day? So what would the kind of the day of perfect happiness look like for you? Where would you be and what would you do?
I'd I'd be somewhere with the beach and crystal blue water. I'd probably start the day with a skydive or two on a nearby strip, landing on the beach, followed by lazing around and writing. I'm currently working on my second book. So I'd be working on that for a part of the day, and I'd love to finish off the day with a scuba dive that takes me down under in absolute peace and silence.
Brilliant. Then I have kind of James Bond visions in my head right now of the James Bond films. I don't know why. I think it's the skydiving and scoot. Yeah, sounds very exciting. What genre do you write?
I usually write fiction, and I lean towards the fantasy genre.
Okay,
So
interesting.
more post-apocalyptic meets Game of Thrones in a sense.
Very interesting. So have you had any kind of inspiration from, what's been happening the last year with the lockdowns and everything?
At times, it's felt like my book's starting to write itself with the inspiration around, and also, yeah, I can draw a lot of parallels to the first book that I wrote and how the world kind of crumbled.
Yeah.
I'm very glad, though, that's not actually happening.
Yes, exactly. And looking back to 2020 and kind of thinking of some of the positive things that came out of what was a very challenging year, what would you say was the best thing that happened to you last year?
From a 2020 perspective, it's
Mm.
all about the business. We're in the business of taking fashion digital and the future of fashion. And the whole fashion industry just rapidly accelerated. So 2020 was the year that we not only broke even within 2 months of launching our products, but also saw absolutely spectacular growth. And that's been the highlight of the entire year for me.
Brilliant. Yeah, definitely with the shift to online that we've seen in the industry, there's definitely a lot of opportunity for businesses like yours. So that's great to hear. And if you could, if you could give your current self some advice from your younger self, usually it's the other way around, but I want to ask it this way around because I think we have things that we could learn from our younger selves, right? What would it be?
Well, my younger self would probably tell me to take some more personal time, relax a little more, exercise a little more, get out and see the world a little more.
Great, that's very wise advice. And would you take them up on that advice? Would you listen to them?
Oh, hands down. Time permitting, I would love to do all of those.
Yeah. And then looking back at your life and kind of who shaped you, who's been big kind of influences in your life, who would you say were the kind of the three most influential people that you've met and have shaped who you are?
Well, I'd start with my mother. She's passed on now, but in my formative years, she was the one who taught me the value of creativity and seeing the world from a different lens, basically thinking outside the box, even though that's a really cliched term. My wife, another one who's really brought me into a more emotionally connected side where earlier I was very much more analytical in my approach to dealing with people and personal situations. And finally, my father, who, through sheer grit and determination, started with nothing and has built himself an empire of in a business. And that's truly, truly inspirational, and a lot of lessons there.
Wow, yeah, they all sound super inspirational. Thank you for sharing that. And if we were going to kind of jet you off into space and we told you you were only allowed to take one book, it could be anything, and one piece of music, and again, that could be kind of a playlist, that could be an album, it could be one song. What would you choose for each?
So for the book, I choose Catch 22. It's not an option that most people would come up with, but it's a book that I have read and reread. One of the few books I've read many times over, and it never fails to make me laugh at the sheer absurdity of human nature, the human psyche, while also delivering a strong piece of social commentary. From a music perspective, I'd pick my favorite song, "The Sound of Silence" by Simon and Garfunkel, which really speaks to how we talk so much, but we never really say much. And it's about the value of actually truly communicating and have a lot of people together buy into a vision that's more connected than just the words they're speaking.
Very interesting. Very good answer. Well, thank you for sharing that as well. Well, that's brilliant. I've really enjoyed our chat today. It's been really great to learn a little bit more about you. And yeah, we're very much looking forward to listening to you share all of your kind of wonderful insights at Retail Connected. So yes, very much looking forward to seeing you then. And our viewers can come and watch you speak in April.